Tyson won that fight. I think most people think he did. What was it like then when you parted ways with him? Did you find that difficult? How much did you learn from that experience?
Yeah, no, at that time, there was a few, not that we'd had an argument, not at all, but there was a few things that, I didn't quite like and sort of said that. And, he might have thought, well, I think you're wrong or whatever. No, never was there any animosity, and there never is. And I knew at that time that Billy Joe was working with me, and I knew that Josh was wanting to come over and come train with me. And basically, there was a discussion, and I just felt like the best move for me was to not be a part of that. Not in any sense of, I just felt like I'm working with Billy Joe, I'm working with Josh. Some of the things that we discussed that I'm never going to air openly. And as I say, there was no animosity in it. I just felt like the best decision for me, for my career, was to focus on at that time Josh and Billy Joe. So that was it, really. Of course.
And those are the words of Ben Davison, the former trainer of Tyson Fury, the current trainer of Josh Taylor, Devin Haney, etc. And he explains in his own words why he decided to leave Tyson Fury. And like I told you guys years ago, okay, just to reiterate, just to backtrack, just to double down, that Ben Davis decided to leave that camp. Okay, he decided to leave the camp of Tyson Fury because he did not believe in, for one, the strategy of the second fight, and for two, the anarchy. Okay, when I talk about anarchy, I mean he didn't like the idea of being co-trainer or secondary trainer or anything behind Javen Sugar Hill Stewart. Okay, and that was, I think, the major thing. And to counterpunch this interview, I hate interviews like this because this is 100% a politics interview, because it's not an in-depth interview. It's an interview that is not concrete. It's not to the point. It's a interview that has a lot of holes in it, okay? And it doesn't really explain anything. And the explanations are very, very transparent, should I say, or non-transparent, rather. Because he doesn't really say, hey, I left because of this reason. He doesn't. He just said, hey, I just thought it was best for my career to stay with these other two guys. Well, what other two fighters are bigger than Tyson Fury at the time? And it just makes you think like, okay, well, you thought Tyson Fury was this and that. You helped Tyson Fury lose over 100 pounds. He had a draw in a fight, and then all of a sudden you wanted to leave him. Well, that's what we have. That's all we have. That's all we really know. And the truth of the matter is, people, okay? Ben Davison didn't like being second in command. He wanted total control. He felt disrespected. He felt that he should have total control over Tyson Fury due to the fact that he was there before anybody else. He was there, and there is no need for other counsel. Do you guys remember John Fury didn't like the idea of Ben Davison having the type of control that he had, okay? And those type of things is which caused Ben Davison to say, you know what, I'm out. And due to the fact that he was the guy that steered Tyson Fury to the success that he was up until that time, he caught mention to other fighters like Billy Joe, Josh Taylor, Devin Haney, those guys. So he really didn't need to bank on the idea or languish with Tyson Fury. Okay. And he had another direction. He had another option. And when you have options, that gives you other opportunities. And that's all what happened with Ben Davison. Okay. Ben Davison was a guy that it reintroduced Tyson Fury back into the boxing world, showed what he was about, even though he had nowhere near the pedigree of other boxers, or should I say trainers. And when he got to that limit, he just milked it to the bone. Okay. And now you see Ben Davison with other fighters. It's almost like, hey, that was just a time before, and that's all we're going to go with. Okay, so, but Ben Davison, make no mistake about it, he decided to leave Team Fury. Okay. He didn't believe that Tyson could do what he did in the last two fights. That's why he wasn't around for the ride. That's why he jumped off that bandwagon. And that's why he is where he is today. Okay. Not with Tyson Fury. You would think that he would reunite, but Tyson Fury has someone that he trusts, someone that has his total respect, and staying at his house. Javon Sugar Hill is staying at the house of Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. He has another trainer. Life goes on. You guys tell me what you think. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counter.